lost the game throughout.
Which game?
But a new phone.
All right, so remind me, you
Yep.
were on a 13 Pro?
So I was on a 13, went from a 13 Pro to a 16 Pro.
Yep. So what do you think? Anything stand out?
No, I got to tell you,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
if you walked into my house, gun to my head, and said, name the differences between a 13 Pro and a 16 Pro,
yeah.
my answers would include the notch is different in USB-C, and that's about all you're getting.
Oh, yeah. USB-C is bigger than it sounds.
No, I know. It charges faster. It does whatever. I will tell you the hilarious thing. So since I had to reconfigure my plan, and which I got to tell you something about that too.
Yeah.
So this phone supports 5G ultra wide band, which I get.
Actually, you have Verizon, so you might actually have that.
Yeah, so I get that at my house.
Oh,
I will
wow.
tell you that it is horrifically slow, and I'm trying to figure out if I can turn it off.
Oh, wow. I bet you can. I bet
In
there
my
is
house on ultra wideband. Now I know it's line of sight and all whatever. Like outside, it should be faster.
Does it indicate that it's on?
Yeah.
Like you get a little icon
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
whatever?
It's like 5G, and then it says like UWB or something.
Yeah. Okay.
I was getting. Sit down for this one.
Yeah.
3 megs down.
Jeez.
Three
Uh,
in my house.
right.
Now with my other phone sitting right next to it, regular 5 goodness, whatever. It was like 30, 40, something like that.
Yeah.
So, really feeling the...
But it's newer.
It is newer. I don't even have a case for it, which I ordered
Yeah.
online because there's a very specific case that I like,
Sure.
and
Yeah,
they don't
those
sell it
the
on Amazon.
scary days where you walk around with the thing gingerly.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
It's
not
too
wanting
slippery.
to.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
So here's the hilarious part. My wife might be able to hear this. She'll find out one way or another. So with the plan so first off, I had to go through like a million different hoops to get my wife signed up as an educator so that we could then get the education discount on Verizon, which is actually what made this all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Because it was significant. It's like $40 a
I mean,
month.
I'm super happy to see your wife finally pulling her weight, but
Me too.
go on.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's what I said as well.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so we got like that discount applied, and then Verizon also now, which we weren't eligible for before because of the ancient plan we're on, but if you do a direct debit, not a credit card payment, but like a literal bank transfer to pay your bill, they take another $20 off a month.
$20.
20.
Yikes.
20. So between her education discount and then that, which ends up being $60 off, we were roughly within spitting range of what we had previously to Verizon saying we're going to raise your rates. So at this point, I'm like, okay, what can I do for a phone? And they said for $7 a month, you can get a new phone.
2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to trade my old one in, whatever. So what I did, because now there is a $7 difference, is I went to Netflix and just dropped us down to the ad-supported tier because I don't watch Netflix, and that's $7 a month. And the cosmic universe of Brad is now aligned. So
Nice.
one day, so in like 19 days when the plan flips over next month, because I already paid for this month or whatever.
I will make this move someday, but I feel like lopping Netflix off of your monthly bill is the most significant milestone of cost cutting, whatever that you could make in that world, like in the online serve. It's the eliminating soda from your diet move you can make. You know, the one that will make the most impact. You know, but I think Netflix has a weird hold on people because they've historically they've been kind of at the top, right, for original content.
They were the original. They may not be the original. There might have been somebody before them, but they were the winners of the initial streaming wars. They were the company.
I mean, they were what HBO was in the 1980s, and they're I don't remember. Maybe someone will remember this, but their ads were sort of like HBO is not TV, basically, but they were prestige TV before we had that. Like The Sopranos, probably in the 90s, whenever that was out, or trying to remember the shows they used to have, but like that wasn't called To the Moon, but the series about going to the moon,
For All Mankind.
No.
Oh, on
This
HBO.
is 30 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like something to the moon. I don't remember, but they would do those series like the
Mm-hmm. They had all the
Steven
comedy
Spielberg did.
too, all the
Yep.
stand-up comedy.
Yeah. So anyway, that was they stood alone for a long time, and then I feel like Netflix became that for the streaming video services market or whatever. Like Narcos and all their series. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, someday this
Yeah.
is a goal. It's a goal.
Anyway, so we're I got this. This is whatever color, silver. They called it. I don't
It's
know.
not titanium or what are the other one? Something other that's not quite titanium. I don't know.
It
That's
might
the
be
one.
the titanium one. It's whatever. It's the
Yeah, I
silver.
have I have the whatever the sand or dirt colored titanium thing is called.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
So I go in there because I did
Mhm.
it. I bought it through Apple because they give you better. Which that's
Yeah.
the other part of it. Like buying it through Verizon didn't make sense. You had to buy it through Apple, do a trade
You
in with
already got
Apple,
that means you went to an Apple store to do this.
just the phone part, but not the plan
Yeah.
part.
Okay.
Because they gave me more for the trade in over
Mhm.
Verizon, and then they can. It's I don't understand why Apple can do things Verizon can't, but here we are. Anyway, so I go in there. This guy is over the moon to talk about this phone, and I'm like, He's like, can I just have my phone? Like, just. He's like, you're coming from a 13 Pro. He's like, there's so many things. I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to leave.
I
And
almost had to physically restrain my wife one time when I bought an iPhone and the guy congratulated me and he said, "Oh, did he win it? I thought he was paying for that."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, you need to step out of the Apple store, honey."
So I actually looked at their cases because I was like, hey,
Yeah.
when in Rome sort of thing.
Yep.
No, they're still the garbage silicone ones, which are horrific. They're just bad. Nobody should ever buy one of those. I hate these things.
Well, so I don't mind the silicone ones, although I know you like to have the port like completely uncovered, like the bottom, right? Is that your
Yeah, so
thing?
that's why the case that I buy, I don't have it obviously, is from a company called Bullstrap. It's
Yeah.
leather, but like there's a
Yeah.
notch at the bottom from where you swipe up, you're not
Yeah.
hitting the
Yeah.
phone
Yeah.
case.
Right. I don't mind the silicone case, but what happens is I drop the phone a lot because I'm clumsy, so little divots get taken out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them's like right on the edge, like kind of on the bottom corner, and it's like I see it like every day. I look at it and I'm like, ugh. Like because it's like now the little metal corner is exposed a little bit. It's like I don't want to
No,
spend whatever that
I'm
is, 60
firmly
bucks on the
against these
case.
silicone rubbery cases that stick in your pocket, and
Well, I miss the Apple used to make really nice leather cases, and
yeah.
apparently they got a conscience about something. So I don't know,
And then they started
but
making trash tier
yeah,
fine
exactly.
woven, which they
This is
did.
made out of paper. Don't get it wet. you know. Yeah, it's a piece of junk, right? I
Mm.
mean, so
They should make them out of sea turtle shells, right? They saved a bunch of those guys, right? Just
eaglet eggs.
the escargot of phone cases.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Anyways, well, one thing we don't have to worry about anymore is HoloLens because Microsoft's shipping that off because they can't figure it out. So
Here's something I think AI would struggle with. Write an announcement post that is about the end of HoloLens, but never mention the word HoloLens even once. And that's what Microsoft did yesterday.
mm-hmm.
It's incredible. Just, Microsoft has I'm going to call it a rich history of trying to pretend bad news isn't happening.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like back in the 1980s, one day in Intel, IBM announced that they had ceased production or completed production or whatever the phrase was of the PC Junior, right? That kind of ill-fated, lower-cost kind of home computer that didn't do very well because of all kinds of problems. But they just kind of owned it, right? They're like, look, we're done doing it. And Microsoft doesn't do that. They just let things kind of fade away, and maybe no one will notice.
Mm-hmm.
But someone always notices, Brad.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, they weren't doing anything with it anyways.
I mean, the HoloLens 2 was 2019, right? It was a year before the pandemic. I went out to
Yep.
Barcelona. They had Tim Sweeney on stage. I mean, and up to that day, major critic of Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, because he was all over the Windows Store. And
Yep, he was super anti-competitive fears about that stuff.
he's really changed. He's really changed.
He's, I mean, give him
I mean, he's
credit for
still
being
it's the same thing.
consistent. Well, he was, I mean, he, I,
He's always been anti-store, which is fine. I mean,
well, no, he's anti big tech dominating everything and
yeah,
overcharging for things, right? And I honestly,
no, he's fine. I get why he was scared then. I get what he's
mhm,
complaining about now. Like,
yeah,
yep. Anyways, Build and Google I/O, two shows most people don't care about anymore because they stopped giving away free stuff. Uh,
jeez,
they're going
wow,
to be overlapping.
yeah, it has happened before, but it's unusual, and this one's really unusual because you could make a case in the past. You're booking a place, there's pre-existing show and things are there, whatever, so you don't have that much of an option. But Google does this in their own place. They could have this on any day they want, you know, and you're gonna. I mean, I don't know. I guess if somebody, because there would be some developers, probably maybe not many, but some, and then certainly some in the press who would need to be at both. So I guess you could go to Build for the keynote and then leave and be in California the next day for the IO keynote. But I mean, you couldn't shift it like one more day.
Yeah,
Like
I
just
just don't think they care. That's
they either don't care, it's literally malicious,
yeah.
But
Yeah, they're really two opposite ends of the spectrum. Either they're so dense, they're just like, whatever, or it's like, haha, we can get them. Like, there's no
yeah,
like, oh, we accidentally did this.
neither one is great because of what I
Yeah.
just said. It's not about Microsoft versus Google. There's this, there's a Venn diagram where there's an overlap, and it's not caring about the overlap to me actually is indefensible. And maybe it's a small audience. I don't know. Maybe I'm overblowing this, but I don't. It just doesn't feel right to me.
I mean, both these companies are the people in the front of the line on Walmart on Black Friday, just trying to talk about AI, right? Just they will do anything they can to get through that door and just muster the word AI.
Yeah, yeah. Don't pick that on your bingo drinking game thing
Oh my
because
god.
God, dear God. And, someone asked me last week, like, we don't have the session list for either one of these things, so there's no way to know if you're interested in other things, which you will be, right? I mean, the
Hmm.
Google show, there'll be people there for their Android developers, whatever it is. Um, Definitely there will be other content at both these shows, but I think we can all agree it's going to be AI heavy, especially the keynote announcement stuff. And I don't know, it, it's possible there's some broad swath of this audience. It's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna set this one out. I don't remember the Google I/O that was dedicated to like spelling and grammar checking, for example, but it's that kind of stuff.
Surprised we haven't heard that actually. Right. What is that
I mean,
editor now with Copilot, the thing that they also abandoned like HoloLens?
Bing chat or no,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's evolving quickly, Brian.
I don't know.
Or slowly, if you're a developer. I don't know if you saw those things I wrote yesterday about this Windows Copilot runtime, the
Mm-mm.
thing that's not a runtime, but there is a collection of APIs, the Windows Copilot runtime libraries or APIs, whatever they call. And I've been waiting for this like 9 months, and it just popped up out of the middle of nowhere last week, actually, but I didn't see it until the other day. And it's only in like an experimental version of the Windows App SDK right now, so you can't use it in production. Blah blah blah, whatever. But if you've ever used like the Copilot or in like Notepad in the dev channel, where you get the little AI thing and it does like rewriting and
Mm-hmm.
summarizing and different tones and stuff, like that's actually there. And I am not a professional developer. I did need to ask Raphael one question, and honestly, in retrospect, it was the stupidest thing of all, but whatever. Um, I would say in several lines of code, you can write and they give you the code. I mean, they pretty much gave it to you. Me. You have some text in one box, click a rewrite button, and it rewrites it in the second box. Or you have a block of code, text, sorry, and you have a summarize or whatever. You can summarize it, bullet list it, whatever. Like, this is just like happening. I mean, it took longer than, they announced it last May, but I would say by this build in May, whatever, couple of months, this will just become like a capability that you just kind of get, you know. Now it's restricted to Copilot Plus PCs right
Mm-hmm.
now, obviously, but there are cloud versions of these things too, right? So Uh, maybe this is I don't know. I think we're just going to see AI things, features everywhere. I think that's going to be it. It doesn't like you could be like Bob in the Microsoft store. You get some stupid little text editor or whatever it is. You'll be able to do AI stuff. It's pretty impressive. Took a while.
Unlike my new phone.
It's a nice color.
They won. They won, Paul.
Yeah, always